The Reds' ninth-inning rally came up just short as they fall to the Washington Nationals on Thursday night. Final score 3-2. Juan Soto hit a pair of home runs to pace the Nationals' offense. Luis Castillo gave up 2 of the 3 Washington runs as he sees his record fall to an almost unbelievable 8-16 here in 2021. The Reds just couldn't get anything going offensively until the ninth when Max Schrock drove in one of the Reds' runs with a triple, and Tucker Barnhart brought Schrock home with a groundout. Highlights coming up, but first some final thoughts from Tommy Thrall and Jeff Brantley.
Thanks, Jed. Cowboy, Reds trying to come back tonight, but it came up short in the ninth. But in the end, the story of this game is really the fact that another left-hander shut down this Reds offense, and they just could not get anything going against Patrick Corbin at all.
Well, it seemed like when the Reds did have an opportunity, and they had a grand opportunity in the third inning, but they were chasing pitches that were out of the strike zone. And that's really where Corbin makes his living. He doesn't make his living over the plate. The batting average against him would tell you that. He makes his living by forcing guys to chase pitches out of the strike zone, and the Reds really did that the entire time he was out on the mound.
Juan Soto is a guy we talked about at the start of this broadcast that, you don't really want to let him beat you. He beat the Reds tonight.
Well, he did hit a couple of home runs. It seemed like every time he was at the plate, matter of fact, every time he was at the plate, he got to 2 strikes. He walked, he singled, and then the last 2 times up with 2 strikes, he hit home runs out of left field. Now, they weren't tape measure shots, but they counted a run nonetheless. And, I mean, you're looking at this guy and seeing how hot he is coming into this ball game. You think, well, I shouldn't let this guy hurt me, but with solo shots, you're trying to make pitches, and he still hit the ball out of the ballpark.
Yeah, he's reached safely in 10 straight plate appearances. He's odd overall. He's now got a 9-game hit streak, but, he is really on some kind of tear right now, making a strong case for the National League MVP. Final score, Nationals 3, Reds 2. Yed, back to you.
Now to the highlights. Neither team crossed the plate in the first 2 innings of this game. The Nationals did put a couple of runners on base in the first, but Luis Castillo avoided any damage. The Nats did score in the top of the third. With 1 out, Castillo walked Lane Thomas. Then with 2 down, Juan Soto singled, moving him to third base. That brought up Josh Bell.
Right field side of his normal position. Jam shot into left field. That's a base hit, and that will score the Nationals' first run of the ball game, and they will have the first lead of the night, 1-0.
The Reds had a golden opportunity to score in the bottom of the third off Washington starter Patrick Corbin. They loaded the bases with 1 out, but Nick Castellanos struck out for out number 2, and then Corbin got Joey Votto.
We'll come here to Votto, the 2-2 count, bases loaded, 2 down in the third. The pitch, swing and a miss, and he has struck out Votto for the second time here tonight. The Reds had Castellanos and Votto at the plate with the bases juiced and cannot plate a run.
Cincinnati then left a pair of runners on base in the 4th inning. Castillo set the Nationals down in order in the 5th, including a pair of strikeouts. Washington added to their lead in the top of the 6th, and it was Juan Soto who did the damage.
The 0-2 pitch, and he drives this in the air. Pretty well hit to left, going back to Shields, turns and looks, and it is gone. Just over the wall and left, a solo home run for Juan Soto on an 0-2 pitch.
After the home run, the Nationals loaded the bases off Castillo, but he struck out Patrick Corbin to end the inning and to end his night. 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, a home run, 105 pitches, 72 of those for strikes. Luis Cessa replaced Castillo in the top of the 7th. He quickly got the first 2 outs of the inning, but then Juan Soto did it again.
3-2 coming from Cessa. Here we go. Fly ball down the left field line, heading to the seats, and that's gone. A second home run of the night for Juan Soto. A 3-2 fastball, and you talk about some quick hands. He drove that ball right down the left field line. It did not slice a bit, and that makes it a 3-0 National lead.
Patrick Corbin, meanwhile, put at least one runner on base in 6 of the 6 2/3 innings he was on the mound, yet the Reds couldn't score. Amir Garrett pitched a 1-2-3 eighth inning for Cincinnati. Joey Votto walked with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th, but he was stranded. Art Warren pitched a perfect top of the 9th for the Reds. So we head to the bottom of the 9th. Kyle Finnegan was on the mound for the Nationals. Eugenio Suarez singled to begin things. That brought up pinch hitter Max Schrock.
The 1-2 pitch. And Schrock rips a line drive fair down the right field line. That's into the corner. Suarez digging for third. The ball still rolling around. Suarez getting the wave. Schrock on his way to third, in standing with an RBI triple, and the Reds are on the board.
Tucker Barnhart then got the Reds a run closer.
Here's the pitch. And Barnhart grounds one to the right side. It'll be handled by Garcia. He'll flip to first to get the out, but Schrock will score from third to make it a 1-run game. Now 3-2 Nationals.
TJ Friedel then hit a fly ball to center field for out number 2. Jonathan India was then hit by a pitch, but Finnegan ended the game against Tyler Stevenson.
3-2 Nationals, bottom of the 9th inning, and the 2-2 pitch. And he didn't want to do it, but he went around. Chased a pitch down and away. Got him to go after a breaking ball. Stevenson strikes out, and that's all. Reds fall to the Nationals 3-2 in the first game of this 4-game series here at Great American Ballpark.
Here are the totals for Washington: 3 runs, 8 hits, 1 error, 8 left on base. Cincinnati: 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors. They strand at 9. Corbin, the winner, 9-15. Castillo, the loser, he drops to 8-16. Finnegan picks up his 11th save of the season. Couple of home runs for Juan Soto in the game, number 28 and number 29. 3 hours and 9 minutes, 11,836 on hand at Great American Ballpark. And with the defeat, the Reds are now just 3 games over 500 at 78-75. Time to hear from Reds manager David Bell.
David, what do you think Patrick Corbin was able to do tonight to keep your hitters in check?
Yeah, he made pitches when he had to, especially with that slider, kind of against a lot of our right-handed hitters. Back foot sliders, kept it down. Looked like he made pitches with it. We had good at bats off when we hit the ball hard. At times, we just weren't able to get enough going off of them. And then we had the opportunity with runners on scoring position, and he continued to make pitches, but. Of course, he threw the fastball, but I really thought his slider was the key pitch for him tonight.
We have talked a lot this season about struggles against left-handed starters, at least on a whole. Is this, do you think, an aberration of this season, or do you think this is something you're going to have to address as an organization going forward?
No, I don't. I don't think it's something to make. An off-season adjustment on or anything like that. I do think that when you're facing left-handers or right-handers during a short period of time, even for a whole season, sometimes the numbers can get a little out of whack. We didn't face a lot of left-handers early, and then we faced a bunch of them recently. So we're always taking a close look at that. We'll obviously take a deep look at it. But for right now, it's trying to have the best approach we can each night, and tonight we weren't able to get it done, and Corbin pitched well against us.
Friday night, it's Game 2 of what will be a 4-game series against the Washington Nationals. Sonny Gray goes to the mound for the Reds. He's looking for his 8th victory of the season. We're on the air with the pregame show at 6:40. First pitch is scheduled for 7:10. And once again, the final score on Thursday night at Great American Ballpark, the Nationals beat the Reds 3-2. And I'm Dave Armbruster with your Reds game recap.